Hello everyone, your voice here and welcome to our channel Sansevieria 101. So for this episode, we're going to feature another trifasciata short leaf cultivar. And this cultivar is also related to the past two episodes that we have featured, namely the trifasciata honey eye Philippines, or also known by the name golden green, and the previous episode, which is the one that I suggested because it is unofficially named the Sansevieria fasciata Lime Dwarf marginated. So the difference between this and the previous one is that these or this specimen or this cultivar, which is already published, has no margins on them. So the difference is Honey Eye Philippines have the complete set of mutation, namely it has marginations on the sides and on the center they have striations. So keep in mind that we call them striations because they are stable variegations that are found on the center part of the leaf. Commonly, when it's on the side, we just refer to it as marginations. But if there are stable pattern of variegation, especially on the center part, we call them striations, and that is also according to one of the renowned experts of Sansevieria fasciatus, which is Juan Chinayan. So you can also find information about the cultivar that I am referring to in the book of Chinayan, which is the Sansevieria fasciata varieties, and it is on or at page 79 of the said book by Juan Chinayan, and the book was published back 1986. Also, you can find some additional information about it or some updates about it in the International Sansevieria Society journals. It is on issue 31st, on the 31st issue, page 11 of the Sansevieria journal. So if you want to avail of the Sansevieria journals of the International Sansevieria Society, which I recommend because I'm also a member of it, and I have, in fact, written some articles on that, on the organization. Namely, I have presented or I have written an article about the Philippine hybrid that was bred by Pipito Mercado. So if you guys are interested to know more about Sansevieria, I suggest that you apply for a membership with the International Sansevieria Society, and you will be sent journals relating to or issues relating to Sansevierias. Of there might be some back issues that you might find appealing. If you are interested in a certain group of Sansevierias, you can backtrack and check uh, the Sansevieria journals for the issues relating to Sansevierias that you really want, instead of looking at Google, which is very misinformed, or I guess Google doesn't have really an expert on Sansevieria to write on the web page, or articles on that you can find on, or topics that you can find on Google. You can find legit information on the International Sansevieria Society group, or if you apply for a membership, they are included on the journals of the organization. So going back to what we're discussing, the particular cultivar that I am discussing right now is available also on the Sansevieria journal, and it is included in issue 31st, and it is at page 11. So if you don't have the book of Juan Chainay and the Sansevieria trifasciata varieties, you can always check the journals of the International Sansevieria Society. So going back, I am also making my own review because I have my own theories, or I also study trifasciatas, and I have some observations of my own. Namely, with what I am presenting to you right now, it is one of the unique products or mutations of trifasciata, especially of the short leaf group, because you can only acquire Sansevieria trifasciata lime dwarf if you have the following cultivars of the short leaf trifasciata, namely the Honey Eye Philippines, or otherwise named as Sansevieria trifasciata golden green. Back here we call it Honey Eye Philippines. You can also get them if you leaf propagate uh, Honey Eye primitive. So those are the two, plus the previous trifasciata short leaf that I have discussed previously, which is Lime Dwarf marginated. The reason why I don't want to call it gold is because it's part of the lime group. It doesn't give you offsets that are full yellow or full solid gold variegations that are referred to as gold in the normal trifasciata cultivars. They are not part of, or they are different from the usual golds that you people would oftenly classify them with. So they are not part of that group. So I would refrain from calling them Sansevieria Honey Eye Philippines Gold, because they're really not gold. They are lime, as what I can see. They are a combination of green and yellow together, so they are mixed on the leaf itself. They don't have a specific pattern. As you can see, the innermost portion are greenish, then the outermost portion are yellowish in color, but all in all, they are very or classified to be lime in color, not gold or not green. So it's the combination of green and gold. That is why this is a special leaf propagation. You can only get them in leaf propagations of, like I said, Sansevieria trifasciata Honey Eye Philippines, that's one. Sansevieria Honey Eye Primitive, that's two. And also the mutation coming from the Sansevieria Honey Eye Philippines, which is what I call the Lime Dwarf marginated. So, like I said, you can get Lime Dwarf from those three, and then the difference with regards to Lime Dwarf marginated and Lime Dwarf is obviously you have marginations on Lime Dwarf marginated. So, question: if you leaf propagate Honey Eye Philippines or Lime Dwarf marginated or Honey Primitive, will you only get Lime Dwarf? The answer to that is yes. Will you get a normal green trifasciata? I would say no, because in my experience of leaf propagating them, I have not encountered having an offset by leaf propagation resulting to a normal banded green shortleaf trifasciata, which is normally called just the honey eye. So those three are special. They are, I would group them into lime group. That is why I don't want to call the other one honey Philippines gold, because that is not distinctive to the characteristics of the plant. They are part of the lime group. All of those three will give you an offset when you leaf propagate them into what I'm showing you right now, which is the trifasciata lime dwarf. So another question: if you leaf propagate lime dwarf, what will you get? So if you leaf propagate what I'm showing you right now, you'd still get the same. You still get lime dwarf, and I'm about to write about this as well, because there are trifasciatas that would be if you leaf propagate them, you get offsets that are true to form. When I say true to form, usually the ones that you leaf propagated or leaf propagate, especially with variegations on them, you'd lose the variegations and you just get the normal banded green form. So there are exceptions to that rule. There are trifasciatas when you leaf propagate them, they will give you true to type or true to form offsets. This is one of them. So if you leaf propagate Lime Dwarf, you still get Lime Dwarf. You never get the banded green on the leaf propagation of Lime Dwarf. You'd never get solid green. You get the same appearance when you leaf propagate this. So keep in mind, folks, another theory of mine, when a true to leaf type trifasciata has been leaf propagated and you leaf propagate it again, it would still be resulting to the same product, or true to leaf or true to form. So the ones that are true to form and true to leaf when you leaf propagate would be, one would be Lime Dwarf, another would be the pale green clone of the short leaf, which is Honey Eye Silver, and also you if you manage to get the Jade Honey Eye short leaf, it would also give you true to leaf or true to form offsets when you leaf propagate them. The reason being is that they were already leaf propagated once, so if you leaf propagate them again, you'd still end up getting the same offsets from them. So that is one of my theory, and I would be writing about it in the perhaps in the future issues of the Sansevieria journal. So I'm just looking for a time to write about my theories about trifasciatas, and as well as updates about Filipino Sansevieria hybrids, so that I can publish them, and I could share the beautiful hybrids or mutations coming from the Philippines. So going back, next thing would be, since we are dealing with short leaf trifasciatas, normally the leaf sizes would just be the same, but for the sake of measuring them, since we're already discussing things, we'll measure the specimen in front of us. And by the way, like I said, this is a leaf propagation. It has not yet grown to what I expected it to be, because most often when you grow leaf propagations, they are a bit smaller, so it takes time for them to get to larger sizes. So right now, this is one of my best specimens of Sansevieria trifasciata Lime Dwarf. So we'll measure it, and this one ends up, since it's a leaf propagation, it's ending up only at 3 inches. Normally the short leaf or dwarf types would be 4 to 5 or 4 to 6 long, or 4 to 6 long, with the incomes with measuring their leaf length. And regarding the leaf width, I'd usually use a different tool, because some of the leaves would be very narrow, and we have to measure them through a scale of millimeters. So this one is just currently at 29.6 millimeters for the widest leaf, because like I said, it's been leaf propagated and it takes time for them to grow into larger sizes compared to the ones that are growing from rhizomes of Sansevierias. Most often they can become bigger than their mother. So with regards to this, it's still pretty small. In fact, this one has been also attacked by mites, but I was able to uh, remedy those, or mite scars, by the way, always reddish in color. And if you can't spot them as early as you can, then they would really chew out the core of your short leaf trifasciatas, and your trifasciatas would end up rotting out. All right, so folks, I think this is all that I can discuss with the pattern. I already mentioned that the green and the yellow, we can't figure out what really is the variegation on them, or if this one is variegated or not, because the genes, or the chimeric genes of yellow, are already mixing up with green. So that is why if most folks are still wondering why this type of trifasciata shortleaf survives, is that it's not really variegated or solid gold. It is because there are greens that are mixed up on the leaf itself, and it's very hard to figure out what really the pattern of the leaf is. But what I can say is that the green is mixed up with yellow, so it's not really that the margins are secluded to a yellow part or to the sides. It's mixed together with the leaf. That's why it can survive. Also, I can see that there are whitish margins on Lime Dwarf, and that's what I can add for the leaf pattern. Aside from that, I have nothing to discuss. So if you have any questions or suggestions, don't hesitate to leave a comment below. Or if you like what I have discussed to you, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day.